Did you get it? 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 Did you get it?
All right, alrighty. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I don't know what time it is for everybody watching. I don't even know if there's really going to be a lot of people watching this stream, to be honest, but I figured this was probably a pretty good uh, opportunity for me to do a little live stream because I don't live stream very much, to be honest, and I kind of want to start doing more um, live streaming content, just connect with subscribers here on YouTube. I just don't think I do that enough. So, anyone who's tuning into the stream, it is currently 10:58 p.m. Jeffrey is the very first viewer, as always, and usually the first commenter on my YouTube videos. How's it going, buddy? What's up? What's up? Uh, it's 10:58 p.m. here in the Philippines, coming up at 11, so it's quite late at night. But I don't really do a lot of streams, and I should be doing more. So that's my motivation for tonight. So again, this is a Q and A session. So please, if any of you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the chat. I will do my best to answer whatever questions you guys may have. Just take a bite of some chocolate. I know I shouldn't eat it, but it is what it is. I'm doing well, man. Doing well. It's a good day today. Woke up. I went to the doctor just to get a exam physical. I haven't done one in like 2 years. I got my blood work back. Everything is actually really great, so that's great. Um, and then I did a little bit of shopping for just a couple other last household things I might need for my place. That's kind of one of the things, by the way, is when you move into a new place, you don't realize how much money you're spending on shit just to get moved in. I'm sure many of you guys who are you know expats who move to new place. I mean, just in general, even back home. And when you're moving to a new place, you got to spend money to get moved into a new place, obviously. But yeah, it's one of those things you just don't realize how much money you actually have spent until you've actually moved. So I moved to a new island. I'm here in Bacolod. If you guys did not check out the newest video, I did upload that. I'll try to put that in the chat here if I could pull this up. Um, the internet here at my new place here in Bacolod has actually been better than the internet in my condo in Cebu City. I think infrastructurally, the internet is overall still going to be better in Cebu City if you're, especially in like IT Park area. But for this condo here in Bacolod, which is a more laid back, kind of chill city, it's been flawless, high speed internet. It's been really great, actually. So, yeah, I think that's nice to, be in a place where you can actually do streaming. And I mean, like, if you think about 10 years ago in the Philippines, I can't even imagine. I haven't been here that long. Obviously, I've been here a year and a half, but I can't imagine 10 years ago. It was probably so different. Internet in the US 10 years ago was still fine. I mean, it's much, much faster today, even, but I can imagine here it was probably very primitive when it came to the internet. And now they have high-speed internet in smaller cities. So it's been pretty good. Yeah, nice combo, my friend. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been really great actually being able to get a new environment. That was one of the uh, things that I focused on as I moved to a new place was can I find a space that's bigger than where I was living before. That was one of the main things. I mean, the main reason I moved was again because I wanted to just be in a new island. I've been in Cebu City the entire time I've been here in the Philippines. And when I came here to Bacolod, I was really impressed. First of all, this is a true foodie scene city. I truly believe that the best Mexican food I've ever had was here in Bacolod, and I can't remember the name of the place offhand. I just ordered it on Grab a couple days ago. My God, it was fantastic. The quality of the carnitas tacos, the quesadilla was insanely delicious. Man, I mean, Cebu City surely has a couple good Mexican food places, I'm sure, and I'm not doubting that it's probably a good food scene for some international options, but I was really, really shocked and taken back with kind of this more developing city as to the hidden gems that were here in terms of food and also, Bacolod is a very walkable city. It's much more wide than Cebu City, which kind of makes sense, thinking about the history as well, though. Cebu City is such a old city. In fact, I think it's the oldest city in the Philippines. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but because of that, it makes it really challenging to expand roads and trying to make it more walkable, I suppose. So that's just how it is. Jordy, what's going on, man? You're not in a relationship? No, I'm not in a official relationship. I am talking to somebody right now, so we'll see how that goes. But I don't make anything official with relationships until many months now of continued talking with someone. I don't make anything official publicly anymore because I've made that mistake a couple times, and I hate to do that. I've talked to plenty of Filipinos here, but I have never had a long-term relationship here. I think the longest relationship here I was in, oh man, was probably 3 months. So, uh, and sometimes it was just on me. I just wasn't ready to fully pursue it. And then other times it was like, oh shit, I made a mistake with this one. So now I'm very, very careful about committing myself to someone. I'm not going to say, yes, I'm with you until I'm like 110% certain. So yeah, not in a relationship right now, to say the least. I'm back in the UK now, working out my trip To Bali. Wow, Bali would be great. Very expensive, I've heard, but Indonesia would be somewhere I would love to go. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think my plan here in Bacolod is I signed a 1 year contract. I don't know if I mentioned that in the video, by the way. I just uploaded about my condo tour, where I'm at right now, obviously. I really like the background actually here on this stream. It kind of looks nice. I like these paintings that are in the background. I don't own any of these, obviously. They were just here when I moved in. But the owner of this place really had quite the, I guess you could say, inspiration for interior design. He really was really mindful about how he wanted to design this place. So the plan is though, yes, at least a year here in Bacolod. It could always change. I mean, I could always move out, but it is kind of a pain in the ass every time you're putting up 2 months of deposit, which I always try to negotiate to 1 month. But to be honest, when I saw this place, I was like, I have to get in here no matter what. I did negotiate the price. I always try to negotiate, mostly because of parking, because I don't have a motorbike. I know a lot of people who move to the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, whatever, they want motorbikes. Me, I just I see the accidents, I hear the stories. I mean, I'm in the traffic all the time when I'm in Grab or whatever. I know it gets bad. So motorbike, you're just kind of exacerbating those issues. I mean, if you get in an accident on a motorbike, you're lucky if you survive, especially at higher speeds. So for me, I guess it's maybe a fear I have of driving motorbikes. So I refuse to do it. So I negotiate the price for parking, and that's it. After a year of being here, which I fully intend to be here at least a year, I really do. I don't want to. I don't want to make the mistake of not being here for at least a year. I really think this is a place I can comfortably be in for a year, especially because I have access directly into the mall. That's huge for me. I want direct access to the mall, and that was another big reason I moved in here. Um, but after a year of living here, I don't know what the plan is. I think I would like to think that either I will possibly go back to a bigger city again, which I'm not going to say I will, but I think what I would also like to do is maybe move to another medium-sized city, just like here in Bacolod. For example, maybe Iloilo or maybe Cagayan de Oro. I think Davao City would be a great option, even though that's not a medium-sized city. That's a very big city, but just kind of, yeah, just kind of differences. I think Mindanao would be a really great next option. After a year of living here, yeah, maybe Mindanao would be wonderful. Dipolog or, yeah, again, Cagayan de Oro or Davao City. I think those are all really wonderful options. But I've been kind of really enjoying the more laid back, medium-sized city lifestyle. I think that's being in the big city is just something that I still like the nightlife culture of big cities and I like certain aspects of it, but I've been kind of just enjoying being in a smaller, more laid back place where traffic is just not super intense and you can kind of actually just go do things more chill. And I notice a difference in the personality traits of people too. I think most Filipinos are still very friendly no matter what city, but I notice especially in the more laid back, smaller cities, they're even more friendly. So those are just things that I kind of have been enjoying about being here, and maybe things I'm looking forward to in the future. But again, never say never. I don't know. I don't think I would ever live in Manila, though. I just know myself. And I know how bad the traffic was in Cebu City. I can't even fathom how it would be in Manila. I think it would just be pretty terrible, to say the least. I think BGC or Makati could be cool to go visit, but certainly living there, just way too expat heavy, foreigner heavy, whatever. That's another thing as I'm trying to slightly push away from super heavy expat areas. I don't mind seeing expats and having a conversation because usually they'll end up talking to me before I talk to them. That's usually how it goes. But um, I don't mind that. I just don't like to always be surrounded by it everywhere I go. So when you're in more medium-sized cities, you don't have to worry so much about it. So. And yeah, visiting other countries too, of course. I'd love to go back to Vietnam. I think that would be really great. I'm really debating to go visit Thailand or Vietnam. I think what I might do is go to Thailand first because I haven't been to Thailand. I've lived in Vietnam and Hanoi, but there's just such little experience I had in Vietnam, and I want to get back out there. But I think in terms of reinitiating myself in another country just to visit. I'm not planning to move to Thailand or Vietnam, but I think Thailand would be a great first step. Um, kind of get my feet wet again in another country, and cost of living is still very low. So that would be a big plan of mine for the sort of near future. I think in the next 3 months, I would like to at least go out for a week or two and maybe do a couple videos out there. We'll see what happens. I don't know. So 1 year gives you a good chance to have a good look around properly. I totally agree. I don't. I think you don't even need a year. I think that you could really get a pretty good feel for a place in just 3 months. I think 3 months is a good amount of time that you really just kind of get acclimated into a new place. I think even within the first month I was in Cebu City, I was already getting pretty comfortable, and then after 3 months, um, I was very used to the day-to-day lifestyle. And now a year and a half later, it's like, wow, it went by so quick though. It really has. I'm really shocked. So yeah, I think even just 3 months is great. Now, when it comes to going to a new city, though, I would never suggest somebody to go straight to a new place and sign a 1 year contract without visiting it first. I think that's not a good idea. Now, I mean, I'm hypocritical to say that because I've been to countries without ever visiting first and lived there, but I always make sure I do my research first, like YouTube videos and Reddit posts, just general research. Talk to people who have visited or lived there, kind of just get a more broad understanding of what you may expect from that place. So that's helped me a lot when it came to moving to the Philippines in the first place. I already knew it was a great country to move to in terms of the hospitality. Obviously, there's a lot of problems in the Philippines. It's no surprise, but because I'm a patient person and easygoing, it's been a lot easier for me than I think some other people. Some people they come here and they can't handle it and they leave. But yeah, that's a big one for me. And the visa, which you're saying the visa runs in Vietnam every 2 months. Yeah, so that's a big one for some people. Thailand, I think is pretty much off the table for me in my younger age to live there. There was like a digital nomad visa or something in Thailand, but that's just not applicable in my case. And retirement visa obviously doesn't apply. I'm 29. I think you have to be 50 to do it. So, and Thailand's been cracking down on visa runs now. Not like Vietnam. I'm pretty sure Vietnam you can still do essentially indefinite visa runs for now until they start changing the laws on visa runs as well. I don't know, but Thailand, unfortunately, is just not a good option for me in my current state for long-term living. But I will go visit 100%. That's the plan for sure. Gonna go out and visit the place. So, where are you at right now, Jeffrey? Are you in Vietnam or where are you at? Or and I think you said you went back to England actually, but you were visiting Vietnam, is that right? Because as I said before, though, I haven't been back to Vietnam in a long time. It's been a very long time. I think I was there just late 2019 and that was it. And then COVID happened and yeah, everything just kind of sucked. Really sucked after that. Man, I should do more live streams, even though I know not a lot of people are going to tune into these. But whenever I kind of feel motivated, I start to get on, and I'll do a couple streams every so often. That's something I like to focus on. So, yeah. But again, anyone who's just tuning into the stream, if you guys haven't checked out my video from today, I did upload a video moving to Bacolod, where I'm at right now. I'm streaming from Bacolod here in Negros Occidental, here in the Philippines. And this is day numero dos, and tomorrow will be the third day being here in Bacolod. It's been great. I love the Philippines. I don't see myself leaving this country anytime soon. Again, never say never, but I can't imagine me leaving the Philippines anytime soon. I know some people, uh, they've been here years, and so for them, of course, there's a big change that they want to go through and live in a new place. But maybe I'm still kind of new. I've been here less than 2 years, so I still have some time I need to spend living here, I guess. But I have all the time in the world. I have nothing else going on. So, yeah, one of the things about this condo, though, I have noticed is there is a bit more traffic noise. So if you guys hear sirens and motorbikes and stuff, I'm up here on the 10th floor. So for me, it's not super loud, but I can't imagine if I was down on like the second or third floor, it would be pretty annoying to deal with. But up here, it's really not a huge nuisance at all. But that's something I have noticed. Compared to my last place, I was way up in the mountains in Cebu City, so I heard almost no traffic at all from where I was. Here, it's kind of changed. But if you guys watch the video, there's pretty obvious reason why I still live here because it's just so much better in just about every way possible. Regardless of some of the background noise that you hear, it's not going to ruin my sleep. It won't really affect me. So, been there before to Da Nang. Yes, Da Nang is a place I would love to visit. It looks like a very beautiful coastal city, somewhere I would love to go. Something I'll do in the future for sure. Yeah, Da Nang, Vietnam. Hanoi looks really great to go back to again. I really miss the seasonal change in Hanoi. Man, it was so nice being in a city where, oh, excuse me, it's almost my bedtime. I'm 29. I'm saying it's almost my bedtime. Um, it was just kind of nice feeling the cool weather changes during November, December in Hanoi. I do not feel that here in the Philippines, obviously. It's very hot and humid, so it's pretty much that way all year. But Hanoi, that was one of the key reasons I had lived there was just because it was nice and cool during the winter time. Unfortunately, I heard there's a lot of pollution issues as well in Hanoi, which I remember visibly seeing it when I lived there. I do remember kind of seeing the smog and haze in the city, and there's quite a lot of trash in Hanoi too. I don't think it's quite as bad as like the big cities of Manila or Cebu here in the Philippines. I think that the slums here are just so huge compared to most Southeast Asian countries. I don't know if, in fact, I don't know if any other Southeast Asian country has um, bigger slums than the Philippines. I think the Philippines probably has some of the biggest slums in Southeast Asia. Someone can correct me. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to look this up actually. Let's see. Country, it's the biggest slums in garbage. I bet it's the Philippines. Yeah, so Manila has some of the largest urban slums in Southeast Asia. Tondo, yeah, Smoky Mountain. Yeah, it's pretty terrible. And I do feel bad for a lot of the people who have really no influence on their economy and uh, proper garbage disposal. Um, because I mean, you go out to the streets, very hard to find a dumpster, to throw your stuff away. That's a huge issue. Back in the US or I'm sure Europe, Australia, Canada, whatever, usually have trash cans right outside of your home, or at least there's a dumpster very close by. I mean, it's really easy to just throw away your garbage. You put your trash can by the side of the street and the dumpster truck comes by and picks it up, and everyone gets it taken care of that way. But here, because you have all these, uh, isquinitas, alleys, right, where a lot of people live deep inside of the alleyways, there's no proper way to throw your garbage away. And there's usually not like a big dumpster can right outside of it either. Sometimes they have to walk very far to find one. There might not even be one near them at all. So they just end up throwing all their shit in the street, or they burn their trash, which is another one, which yeah, I don't think is obviously good for the environment. But again, when you're in an economy where you just don't have proper resources available, then yeah, that makes it quite a challenge for sure. What do you think about the SRRV for 40 plus? It's $50,000. I think that's ridiculous, in my opinion. Yeah, did they lower the age of the retirement visa? Yeah, that's great. But I was told that before it was like literally half of that, and now you're making it $50,000. It makes no sense to me. First of all, the Philippines is already struggling to reach their quota for tourism, every year since post-COVID, anyways, I should say. And now they're making things more complicated and more expensive. The visa extensions are more expensive. I'm direct proof of that. I've went to the Bureau of Immigration and it was like 1,000 pesos more, which is like 17, $18. I mean, that's not huge for us, but that's a chunk more extra per month, and they're already struggling to get tourists. So why are they making it more expensive for the visa extensions? It just doesn't make any sense, right? And then the SRRV is now pushing towards younger people, but it's like twice as expensive. I don't understand the mentality. It really doesn't make any sense to me. I think that the Philippines government's kind of shooting themselves in the foot in that sense. I mean, if they're trying to get more foreigners, wouldn't it make sense to make things more flexible and cheaper, at least until they can kind of meet those quotas and then say, okay, now that we're hitting higher numbers, maybe now we can start increasing. And in some ways, that might help them get more money because they already got the people who came in when it was easier to come in, and they want to keep them in. So maybe now they can increase the price and take some of our money. But they're not reaching that quota and they're making it more expensive for us. So help me make sense of that. It doesn't make sense, right? I don't know. So I think that if the SRRV was the same price and they knocked it down to 40 years old, that's great. I think that would actually be a step in the right direction. But now they're going yet even further into this kind of hole that they can't get out of. So I don't know. There's a lot of, as people will say, there's a lot of weirdness and things that just don't make sense here in the Philippines. But this is kind of part of having patience and understanding that not everything's going to go the way you want it to here. It doesn't, it's not like two plus two equals four. It's like two plus two equals three, right? It's like, it doesn't make sense. Common sense tells you it doesn't make sense, but you literally have no control of it because that's the rule, right? Two plus two equals three here in the Philippines, right? Hopefully that made sense the way I explained it, but that's how the Philippines is. So if anyone ever asks you, why it's like that, just say in the Philippines, two plus two equals three. That's what I would tell people. Fat too much money for the SRRV. Yeah, most people aren't going to have $50,000 to just dish out for a visa. I'm sorry. That's just not going to happen. It's really not going to happen. And seriously, how many 40-year-olds have $50,000 to just pay to go retire in the Philippines. That doesn't really make sense. Most people who are 40 years old are working like they're working in their home country. They can't even think about retirement at that point. So what's the point of buying the retirement visa in the Philippines unless you have income working online making good money? But shit, yeah, I mean if you have $50,000, you must have a good job already, but how are you going to keep that income in the Philippines? Do you have good income online or I don't know. I don't see how that makes really any sense. But 25K, that's much more reasonable to save that kind of money. And yeah, maybe you can use it as a fallback on, to come to the Philippines whenever you want, and you don't have to worry about, a lot of extensions because you're already covered. Oh, I don't know. There's so many variables into that. I just think that the price and what that entails just doesn't make any sense, obviously. To be honest, the tourist visa here is one of the best in the world. And that's one of the main reasons I stay here in the Philippines, guys. I stay here because I can stay here 36 months consecutively without leaving the Philippines. Then you leave one day, right? Which I wouldn't leave just a day. I'd probably go out for like a week, honestly, and spend it out in another country like Vietnam, Thailand, Taiwan, Japan, somewhere. Then you come right back and you got another 3 years until they change that law, which if they change the 36-month rule, that will be a massive hit to tourism in the Philippines, to be completely honest. Now, it depends on how they change it, but I just can't imagine them doing something so foolish like that. I will say, yes, we should be grateful that we have 36 months to just stay and then leave and come right back and reset the clock. But at the same time, there shouldn't be a reason they change it. I think that they're already struggling to hit those numbers, as I said before. So it wouldn't make sense for them to make any big changes like that. But then again, it's the Philippines, so you really just you can't predict what's going to happen. You really can't. So, Jordy or Jeffrey, if you guys have any questions about anything, please feel free to ask in the chat. Anyone else who's just tuning into the stream, I know there's a few people here. I did upload a video today, as I've already mentioned a few times, about my move here to Bacolod, where I'm currently living. Actually, I'm doing my live stream from here in my condo, actually. So if you guys haven't checked out that video, please give it a like. Give this live stream a like too, if you guys can. Get it some traction. I'm trying to maybe do a little bit more live stream sessions. Maybe once every Monday. Who knows? Maybe once every Monday I'll do a live stream, or maybe twice a week. I don't know. The only reason I don't do a lot of live streams is just because I don't really get a lot of viewers. But maybe part of that too is just because I simply don't upload enough or do streams in the first place, so I can't really expect to get viewers if I don't do a lot of videos. But part of it also is just if I'm motivated to do it. If I'm not really super motivated, I won't make YouTube videos or streams. Kind of just rather do my own thing. Uh, One thing I've been getting into actually just recently is this guy right here. I just started getting into VR gaming. I don't really do gaming so much anymore. I much prefer to travel or whatever, but I figured I'm going to be kind of bled for money this first month moving in, so I figured I'd have something to keep me in my condo a little bit longer. And I ended up buying a Meta Quest 3, so that's why I did so. So yeah, just something. Oh my goodness, excuse me, something to keep me entertained. Jeffrey asks, why did Gio move to Bangkok? I don't know the full details as to why he moved. I think he was just done with the Philippines, to be completely honest with you. I think it was just a bunch of little things for him that kind of just pushed him to not want to fully focus on here in the Philippines. And again, I'm not going to speak on behalf of him like I'm his representative or something. I don't know the full details, but I think that just kind of my experience talking to him, because I met him here in Bacolod actually. One of the reasons I'm living here is because of him. Um, but through talking to him and kind of just watching the progression of his content, it's pretty clear that I think he just wanted a change. And you have to keep in mind, Gino's been living in Philippines since God, like 2016 or 2015, I believe. So I mean, if you've been here 9 years, almost 10 years, yeah, I mean, maybe change is pretty good in that situation. I think the only thing that would keep me here much longer term is if I was married. Um, I know Gio doesn't want to get remarried. I think he's been married twice. So I think that for him, marriage is obviously off the table and certainly not getting married here in the Philippines. I'm still very open to marriage. I don't mind. Kids, that's a whole different story. I don't know if I want to have kids or not. I'm 50-50 on that. Uh, but yes, I would say that's one of the main reasons he moved is just he's just simply been here so long and it was just a bunch of little things that was like, okay, he's kind of done it all and I think he was just ready to move on, do something bigger and better. So I don't blame him. I really don't. I think after 9 years, yeah, I would want to have change as well. So, and, there's a lot of countries in the world to go explore and visit and some countries are just so easy to stay in long term. If you're lucky enough to have a strong passport, then yeah, you can really enjoy your longer stays just as a tourist. You don't even have to get the retirement visas, which is great. And for me also, I'm 29, so there's no way I'm gonna get a retirement visa anytime soon. Uh, Not wanting to race towards retirement either. Obviously, I'm happy being young for now, but yeah, there's still a lot of great countries you could live in, and I think Thailand overall certainly has better infrastructure than the Philippines. As we said, Philippines has some of the biggest slums in Southeast Asia. So I think there's certainly a lot of reasons that Thailand could be a better option than the Philippines. Yeah, but other than that, I think that as for me, I'm very happy still being here. I don't plan to leave the Philippines anytime soon. I just signed the 1 year contract here, so I really, and I'm serious. I really truly intend to stay here for the next year. I'm kind of S, excuse me, SOL on the last condo because I left early. I think a couple months early. But the other guy who was living here, actually, who was Gio's friend, he also went to Bangkok, from what I understand. And if I did not move into this place, I'm almost positive someone would have already moved in here. And I would have totally regretted not moving into this place because after just even a couple days being here, it feels very homey. And that's kind of hard to get in the Philippines, having a big space where you feel like it's more like the West again. It's still a little different. It's not totally, I wouldn't really say it's so westernized, but it definitely feels more homey than my last place, which was just kind of more like a box, sort of. That's really how I felt. And also kind of it kind of I guess you could say makes you appreciate having more space as well, where you can actually kind of walk around more and you're not hitting wall to wall in 5 seconds of walking. So that's kind of nice. Udon Thani in Thailand. I've never heard of it before. There's so many places in Thailand that I would absolutely love to go explore. We'll see what happens in the future. Thailand is one of those countries that back in even 2016, 2017, I thought was really interesting. I hadn't had any experience apart from Australia at that point. But when I came back from Australia in late 2014, that's when I knew I was going to fall in love with traveling. But I was 19 at that time. I got into a relationship shortly after, ended up being in that for 4 years. Obviously, didn't work out. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, ever since then, I kind of just always had that itch to travel. And 2019, after that relationship ended, that was really kind of the jumpstart to my expat lifestyle. And man, it was really awesome getting the experience to live in Vietnam. And I think that, like just being an expat pre-COVID was so different compared to what it is today. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that it's not exciting or it doesn't feel special to be an expat, but I feel like pre-COVID, everything was just kind of more lively in a sense. And I don't know if that's just because of the drop of tourism or I don't know. I don't know what it is, but Vietnam was really a special place for me. And I'm for sure going to have to go back and visit. Vietnam was really great. And Thailand, again, is just one of those places that for years I've always looked at and just thought, man, this is a pretty cool country. And not just for the nightlife scene or the big city life. I think Bangkok would be awesome to visit, but very, very beautiful country, wonderful beaches, beautiful nature. Food is just out of this world. Thai food is Philippines. I love chicken adobo. I really do. I think chicken adobo is a great Filipino dish, but man, I'm sorry, Thailand is just it blows the Philippines away in terms of quality. So yeah, I don't see myself I don't see myself uh what was I gonna say? Ever thinking Filipino food is gonna be better because it's simply not. And better infrastructure in Thailand and Vietnam as well. Uh, but there's a reason I still live here. I love the Philippines. Communication in English is a big one for me, so that's why I enjoy it. But yeah, definitely will be traveling for sure in the next few months. I'll just travel around, but home base, absolutely here in Bacolod. I'm not going anywhere. Started traveling in 1984 to Israel and Egypt. Man, I just feel young whenever people say that, man. I'm 29, so I was born in 1995. So 11 years before that, that's when you started traveling. That's really incredible to think about that. Also, I can't imagine Israel and Egypt in the early 1980s must have been a very different experience for travelers than it is today. Imagine the Philippines in the 1980s. Man, can you imagine how much different the experience would be talking to people in the 1980s here in the Philippines compared to today. And I say that because of the internet. I think that the internet's changed everything. I mean, for everybody, obviously, good and bad. But imagine how much more interpersonal your connections will be with people here in the Philippines in the 1980s. It must have been a completely different experience. So, give me 1 second, guys. Okay, there we go. Not much tourists in Egypt those days. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Can imagine being at the Great Pyramids in the 1980s. Um, much less scamming probably as well back then, right? I can only imagine. It's pretty bad with the scamming. The uh, scamming thing is just so big in Egypt, I've heard, unfortunately. So, one thing I probably wouldn't enjoy about being there. Philippines, you don't really get blatant scams so often. You will get price gouging going on. People will try to charge you more uh, for certain things, obviously. But that's it's something that, especially if you're in a relationship with the Filipina, she can go out to the wet market, get stuff for you, and everything is good there. So yeah, it's going good, Greg. Going well, man. How are you, Greg? Welcome to the stream. I think I saw you comment earlier, actually. Um, no, I guess not. I guess this is the first time you were talking. I thought for some reason you said something earlier, but I guess not. But welcome, Greg. Welcome to the stream, man. Yeah, again, and guys, I'm just going to post this one more time here in the chat. If you guys didn't check out today's video, that's the newest video I uploaded. I moved here to Bacolod, obviously, and just made this video a little while ago. Really would be great if you guys check it out. Actually, Greg, you did comment. In fact, you were one of my first commenters, actually. Yeah, I remember seeing that now. Greg, why does your name look so familiar? I don't know. I knew a Greg before, but I don't think you're the same Greg. Such a common name. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think you're the Greg I knew. Anyways, yeah, that's how that goes. But yes, Bacolod is a great city. And as I've told people before, if you guys are coming to the Philippines, my suggestion, try to, and coming to the Philippines for the first time and you want to be an expat, try to land in a soft landing city. What do I mean by soft landing city? Somewhere where it's very easy to get your feet wet. Um, try to slowly get introduced into the culture, not just moving into the middle of the province and the middle of, jungle, mountainous island lifestyle. You don't want to do that. I think that Cebu City, in my opinion, is the best first city to move to. I think Manila is just way too urban. I know people think Manila is the greatest option, but I don't think you're getting the true Philippines experience. And you can define that however you want, but to be honest with you, Manila is just so internationalized and just so urban. I just don't think you'll have a very good first experience. Cebu City is a big city. It's the second biggest city in the Philippines, but you have nature basically at your doorstep. And Cebu Island is one of the most beautiful islands. I'm sure Luzon has some wonderful places. Obviously, Baguio would be great, but it's very far away from Manila, and it's just such a huge island. So you really have to travel far to get out of it. So, in my opinion, I think Cebu City is always going to be the greatest city to land in. You have all the nature and beaches and small islands near it, Bohol, Panglao, Siquijor, obviously, and then you can go further south. You can go to Negros Oriental. You can go to Dumaguete, which is very popular for expats as well. Um, and then up further north of that, on the same island as here in Negros Occidental, where I'm at in Bacolod, that's I think a really good second place once you've kind of acclimated yourself to the Philippines culture. I think that the medium, smaller tier cities are really great options. And I know someone was asking me again earlier, what would my plan be after living here in Bacolod? And again, I'm not 100% sure, but after kind of landing here in Bacolod and really appreciating the more laid back, less crazy urban lifestyle, I think I would still stick to more of a medium-sized city. So whether that would be like Iloilo, for example, which is very close to here, only an hour ferry, that could be a really great next move. Really don't have to go far at all. Um, or maybe all the way down to Mindanao. I think Mindanao would be an awesome next island to go travel to. I've heard a lot of great things about it. So Mindanao could be really wonderful, and then maybe take a trip over to Cagayan de Oro, for example, or Dipolog, or again Davao City, which is still a much bigger city than here, but just a different experience. And it's again just not as super expat heavy, which was the other thing I was mentioning. I'm trying to push a little bit more away from heavy expat influenced cities. It was great again to get my feet wet, and so to speak, and just get acclimated into the Philippines culture, but still have some conveniences and things that still connected me to the West. And actually here in Bacolod, there's a lot of big shopping malls and things that still connect me to conveniency. I mean, literally, the condo I'm in right now is connected to the Robinson's Place Mall here in Bacolod. That, and I believe there's an S&R here and Landers. I'm not for sure on that, but those are huge stores that have Western foods and other imported goods from the West. So you still have that stuff here in Bacolod, but it's just not as expat heavy as Cebu City was. So these are all things that I again just try to keep in mind whenever I'm looking into moving to a new place. I don't ever see myself truly living deep in the province. I know some guys say they want to do that, but to be honest with you, I think that you should go out there and try it for like a few days and see if that's really something you'd want to do before you move all your stuff over there. Because some guys do that and they truly regret it, and they end up back in the big cities. It always happens. I hear about it all the time. They say, I want to move out in the province. I want to do the province lifestyle. Man, a small percentage of those guys actually make it out there. Yes, it's inexpensive and it's cheap, but it's really about the comfortability. And for me, I don't need a huge space like this personally. I think 66 square meters is not necessary for me to survive and be comfortable. But man, when you have that extra space, it's really hard to want to go back into a smaller place again. It really is. And comfort is everything. Your comfort in your home really impacts your day-to-day life living here. It does, because this is the place where you're going to spend the majority of your time. So you might as well make sure that it's going to be worth it. So that's important. Jeffrey said, I stayed in Davao de Sur for 12 years. Expats have started to move away from there. Wow, Davao de Sur. I don't know if I'm so familiar with that. Let me see. The Sur. So are you talking about, okay, so is Davao de Sur kind of just the section of the island that connects to Davao City, I'm guessing? Like, I guess Davao City is part of Davao del Sur, but it goes further south of that and a little bit north of that as well. I guess they're made up in different sections, but yeah, that's what I'm kind of noticing anyways. Davao City would be a great place, I think, to live. I think I would feel very comfortable. South of Davao City. Okay, interesting. I don't know anything outside of those areas, and I mean, I haven't been to Mindanao at all, so I don't. I'm not going to pretend I know anything about Mindanao, but I've done a little research on YouTube about Mindanao, and obviously you have the dangerous part of Mindanao, and then you have Davao City, which is extremely safe. Really wonderful place to go. So it just kind of depends on where do you want to be. Um, and I think again for me, I could absolutely see myself being in Davao City or even Cagayan de Oro. Well, this depends. Again, at the end of the day, I just want to have uh, a place that's secure. And condos usually are the best places that you can be that'll give you that sense of security. Um, and just convenience of, things like shopping for food. And I don't mean like only wet market availability. I don't think I would be very comfortable in just a day to day of going to the wet market to get all my groceries. I do like to have a supermarket near me. Here again, I'm extremely lucky that I'm literally built into the shopping mall, which is just still crazy. I think this is. I'm not going to say the only way I would prefer to live now, but again, when you have a bigger space, you're connecting into the shopping mall, you just feel comfortable. You really do. So those are reasons I would probably want to stay in something similar in the future. So, but the only way you can really achieve that is if you're in a bigger city. I mean, if you're out in a very small provincial town or again in the province, life's going to be more hard. It really is. Your cost of living and expenses are going to be a lot less, but at what cost, to your mental health or physical health? So, and much less security, by the way. I think the provinces are very safe, depending on what province you're in, probably. But um, again, just being in the big city, having everything close to you and secure, and just feeling safe. That's just that's the biggest thing for me. Your life, your health is so important. So make sure you keep everything in mind, when you're making that decision where to move. So, all right, guys, I'm going to end the stream here. I have been talking too long. I actually don't know how long I've been doing this stream for. It's been, well, almost an hour. So, good little 1 hour session of just talking to a couple of subscribers. And, I am always so happy to make YouTube videos and give information to people that have no concept of what it's like to be an expat abroad or just traveling to places. And my videos might be one of the first things they see, and really makes my day when I see that. So, uh, yeah, I really thank you guys for watching the videos, watching the streams. I will try to do not, I'm not going to say I'll do regularly scheduled streams, but I'm going to try to make more of an effort to at least stream more like once a week, or maybe even twice a week if I really get into it. But yeah, this was just kind of a little bonus stream I wanted to do, also to test my internet here, Bacolod. And again, guys, if you have not checked out the video I just uploaded today, I'll post it here in the chat one more time. Make sure you check out that video, my condo tour here in Bacolod. It's always great to just share new experiences I have with you guys. And if you have any suggestions for any videos, feel free to send me a message on Facebook, and I'll post that in my social media there in the description below this video. Feel free to follow me on Facebook. I'm trying to get more followers on here. So feel free to send me a message if you guys ever have any questions. Other than that, I will see